let's get after it. Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button, like, subscribe, rate, reviewing. If you are new to this show, okay, if you have not subscribed yet to this platform, give me about 2 hours to earn the right to get that subscription tonight. Let's get after it. Boys, like I said to start the show, we got a bunch of quarterbacks entering year one as a starter. Now, full-time starter, okay? So you're going to see some names in here that have started football games, but this is their first full year being the guy at their university. So we're going to rank it 10-1. These are the universal rankings here on the network. We decided these before the show. We're going 10-1. Now, the worst situation that we are going to rank tonight. Now, they're all really good situations now, okay? But this is the worst of them. I think Notre Dame comes in at number 10 for a variety of reasons for me, guys. First and foremost, whoever wins that job here at Notre Dame, in terms of the blue blood programs and first-year starters, this is the only real competition that we're going to talk about tonight. The other 9 guys ahead of this group right here at Notre Dame, they're all kind of the starter. So for that reason alone, I feel like Notre Dame comes in at number 10. Now, the other reason I think is because if it ain't C.J. Carr, if it is Kenny Minchey, based off the inklings and what my Twitter timeline and what my Notre Dame constituents that I interact with tell me, there's going to be a lot of people waiting to be rooting for C.J. Carr to get into football games if it is indeed Minchey.
I mean, there's always the, grass is greener on the other side idea of the backup. I think another component to take into consideration with this is that you, as your first year of starting quarterback, is expected to follow up a team with a quarterback and everything else on it, let's be honest, overachieved last year. People didn't expect Notre Dame to be a national championship team. People didn't expect Riley Leonard to play as well as he did down the stretch. So you have to now live up to that. It's an unfortunate situation, I think.
Well, I think too, that plays into the Notre Dame's quarterback situation is that I think they have good weapons. I don't think they have great weapons. So I think that, I don't know if you have guys in that wide receiver room that you can just fully lean on, guys that you can have win now moments. And also too, they have Jeremiah Love, but Jeremiah Love has been banged up a good bit of his career. So if you don't have him in particular games, that also puts a lot more pressure on your shoulders as well as a first year starter.
And I mean, they have a good, clean starting 5. I think Notre Dame has one of the best starting 5 offensive lines in returning football. I believe that. But of any program that we're going to talk about tonight, their depth got pillaged, I feel like, by the portal at the offensive line position specifically. So we'll see what they got coming. I know they're going to be good first month of the season, but when football starts to happen and injuries start to happen, how does that depth bounce back considering that? I think they lost 3 guys in their backup positions to the portal. Yeah. And they're going to start for Power 4 football teams this year. So they got kind of, I'm not going to say ravaged, but they got kind of torn apart via the portal. Number 9, again, first year truly starting. I think the schedule is brutal enough to put DJ Lagway this far down onto this list.
Well, that, and we've talked about it. The offense doesn't necessarily label itself as quarterback friendly. There's a lot of booms in it, and there's a lot of moments that DJ Lagway can make himself an impressive thrower. Ain't easy. But yeah, I mean, we talked about it. He's got a 62% completion percentage right now?
Yeah, well, I think it was 61,
it's a small sample size because he only started 6 games last year, didn't even finish all 6 of those. Yeah. But the reality is that you have high expectations for you. The offense isn't necessarily friendly to what you are trying to do as a quarterback. And on top of all that, the schedule is just brutal.
Yeah, schedule is brutal. I know people are high on their offensive line, but I think too, the wide receiver room as well, a lot of people are high on that, but they're kind of working in some new parts into that, and you got multiple guys missing time quite a bit there. So I don't know that this is going to be a very cohesive unit to start the season off. But he has a great run game to go alongside that.
We don't always look at the chat. We don't always talk to the chat, but I do want to bring this up because I think this talks to what I hope this place will ultimately be. Buckeye fan. This is from Sean Emerson. He says, "I wish you would do more Big Ten stuff. Stumbled across you not long ago, and love your analysis and energy. Too many neutral channels lacking real ball knowledge to give proper takes." Here's what I want people to leave this place saying. The only thing I care that they say: A, those guys love football. They love what they're doing. B, they damn sure know football. That's it. That's all I care. You stop by here. You know we love what we do based off the energy and the passion that we bring to it. And we know what we're talking about with regards to the game of football. I've always said it. There are a ton of people on the internet that are talking about football. Okay? This is a place where we talk football. There's two total different sides of this content creation. I think we do the talking football side better than anybody on the internet. So I appreciate that comment from my man right there. And we do got some Big Ten content from you tonight. Speaking of the Big Ten, I put Dante Moore number 8 on this list. Okay, obviously the schedule is really, really beneficial for a first-time full-year starter for him. We know we started at UCLA a couple of games, but we watched it. I'm concerned about where he's at from a football confidence standpoint.
Yeah.
If you watch what happened to him at UCLA, there is good reason to believe or good thought process to think that guy might be scarred a little bit. We're going to have to provide confidence for him to start the season. I put him in number 8 for that reason. It was that bad at UCLA, man.
On the flip side, though, compared to what DJ Lagway has, this guy has a very friendly schedule to be a first-year starter.
But, I mean, I say Lagway's got 5 times the amount of weapons or at least answers when healthy than what Oregon's got right now.
Sure.
It's Dakarian Moore, who is an unknown 5-star, and a bunch of unknowns out there at Oregon, and a really talented tight end who I think the world's going to get to know about in terms of his athleticism. But there's not a lot of weapons out at Oregon this year.
And they got a solid running back. I think it was Mekhi Hughes is his name. He went for like 1,400 yards last year. That's a transfer that they acquired this year. So we'll see what that happens for them as well.
Yeah. Number 7, you got anything to add on Dante Moore? Number 7, I put Bryce Underwood here down on the bottom in terms of, I mean, of all of these quarterbacks, does he have the least amount around him in terms of talent?
Feels that way.
It certainly feels that way.
Now, again, Michigan fans, if you're here today, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know where it's at in terms of the elite talent at the skill positions around Bryce this year.
I mean, even when the talent was at its highest, like when they won their national title, like as far as receiving goes, it was Roman Wilson and a bunch of other guys just kind of piece things together. So even when they did have great weapons, or what people thought they had great weapons, it really wasn't like comparable to like what the other teams across the country had.
Here's what I will say about Bryce's situation. Of all of these guys, he is the most pressure-free. This is a pressureless season for Bryce. So for that reason, he might be able to go up this list in terms of, again, we're ranking the situations for these first-year starters. This is the only true freshman on this list, I believe, though. So that's another reason why he's a little bit further down this list. We're going to go through some growing pains.
Yeah, and he's one of those guys where, I mean, the Michigan fan base is super high on him. Just ask anyone in that fan base what they think of him. And on top of that, if you string together a good game or two or have a good stretch, or God forbid you beat Ohio State again, he's going to immediately be anointed a Heisman contender next season. Like all of the hype train will go to him. So he's kind of playing with house money right now. So I agree.
And a lot of money.
A lot of that.
You got anything on Bryce?
I kind of already gave my thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, good offensive coordinator as your head coach too. Like, Sharon's going to have a good, solid run game plan, at least put in place for you guys. Not going to ask the quarterback to do a whole lot. I mean, hell, they didn't ask J.J. McCarthy to do a whole lot as a junior getting ready to be a first-round draft pick. Number 6 for us, Marcel Reed. Again, started some games last year, but this is his first time being the guy. I think some of the things in front of him, I think situations in front of him are just a little bit more ideal in terms of what's around them. But I love that Marcel not only has a great offensive line around him, a great run game around him, but he's also got a coordinator in Colin Klein, who I feel like could really accentuate his skill sets.
Yes.
Like, Colin was an RPO guy, now much bigger, much more physical, but in terms of getting the quarterback involved in the run game, getting the quarterback involved in the RPO game, making defenses fear the quarterback's legs, Marcel's got a very similar skill set to what Colin had himself.
Yeah, and I think it was very evident last year when Marcel Reed did play and when he did start. He was playing in a system. He was a very talented quarterback in a system that was not dedicated to his strengths and his skill set.
They were piecemealing it.
Yeah, you now have an entire season of Colin Klein archetyping a type of offense that is dedicated to that. The one thing that I am kind of worried about for him, and they went and answered that problem with Casey Concepcion in the transfer portal, but Noah Thomas and him really created a good combo last year. Obviously, he transferred to Georgia, so I think building a rapport with your wide receiver team is going to be important.
Not only that, did they lose Noah Thomas, but Brooks and I have been watching some wide receiver reps, and not to do that. I know we talk about don't fall for the propaganda when it comes to fall camp clips, but these clips are doing no favors to Texas A&M's weaponry right now.
Honest to God, it's why I've always been on the side. If I were a football coach, y'all wouldn't be in here with no video. Ain't no way. Ain't no way any media outlet would ever be in my college football practice with video.
Hell no.
I just wouldn't allow it. It's too conducive for overreactions both ways, negative and positively. Something positive happens at practice when media is there. Oh, the internet thinks y'all are the greatest thing in the world. Y'all are undefeated. If you don't do it, you're garbage, football coach. Look how much talent y'all had on air. If you're terrible on air, everybody thinks you're the worst football team in the world. The A&M practice stuff that's come out, I don't love it. Especially from the wide receiver stuff and the connectivity between the quarterback. But they're going to be a run football team anyways.
Right.
Texas A&M's offense will go how Le'Veon Moss and the offensive line goes, so I'm not too worried about it. Number 5, in the terms of situations for first-year starters, I got Austin Simmons, okay? I think he's working with a lot less than some of these other guys in terms of skills around him. I don't love what Ole Miss has got. In fact, I don't know what Ole Miss has got from a skill set position. I know Caden Lee returns, a friend of the show, came on the network at SEC Media Days. I love the transfer they brought from Wake Forest, who I'm drawing a name of last, Deuce Alexander. I love that kid. Loved him out of high school. Thought he should have played a lot more last year at Wake Forest. Came to Ole Miss. Think he's going to do some good things, but don't know a whole lot about what Austin Simmons has got around him. I do know I sure as hell would love to play for Lane Kiffin.
That was what I was going to say. I was trying to think of it like, what's the last time dating from Alabama to FAU to now when Lane Kiffin,
they sucked.
When Lane Kiffin has had a quarterback that was just like, that guy is garbage. He's not good at all. Like, that offense has always kind of ran through what the quarterback can do, and Lane Kiffin's always put them up for success. So it's a great situation.
One thing I do know about first-year starters, they going to turn it over.
Oh, yeah.
All of them. Jackson Dart turned it over. My man that was before him turned it over. War number 2.
Matt Corral.
Golden. Turned it over a good bit. All of them do. Okay? So when that first year, you're going to have 11, 12 interceptions.
For sure. But again, I think that it's a really, really promising situation for him to be in.
Speaking of really promising situations, number 4, Ty Simpson. Obviously, you got Ryan Williams, the offensive line. I love the play calling situation this year for them. Getting Grubb back, getting more back to a Washington-style offense, not this quarterback design run offense that they were trying to put together last year. And I find it hard to believe that Ty Simpson is going to be a flat-out failure.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think a good passer is ever going to be a failure for Kalen DeBoer.
It's a Kalen DeBoer style quarterback in a Kalen DeBoer style offense with one of the most talented rosters in the country. Like, that's all you really need to say about it. And yes, it's an SEC schedule. It's hard. Yes, they have to go to Georgia this year. Yes, they're having to come off of high expectations and a disappointing season last year, but it's one of the more advantageous situations to be in as a quarterback.
One of the funnier things that I've seen come out of Alabama during fall camp is there was this quote, I think it was from Ryan Grubb. It was either from Ryan Grubb or Kalen DeBoer, talking about how they're implementing pro concepts into the offense, and Alabama fans are just run into the hills and everything like, oh my gosh, we've got a pro style offense coming. Like, it's what you would have run last year, but your quarterback didn't allow you to. So I think it's even better that the fan base is going to be excited about what they see for him, because it'll be something totally different.
We the only, I know we do this a lot, but we had to have been the only network that covers college football like we do that we're talking about how foreign Jalen Milroe was to that guy.
Yeah.
Number 3, Gunnar Stockton, a 4th-year player.
We talked about this earlier in the week. I was like, has he really been there since 2022?
That long? Going into if you're a 4-year player in college football, you've been there 4.5 years, because he got there in December or January of his freshman year, early enrolled, all that good stuff. And we talked about it the other day on our local hour. Of all of these premier programs, Georgia has a rookie quarterback contract. Like, they have a really cheap quarterback, which means everybody else around him gets to they get to fill it with a lot of talent. They get to throw a lot of bodies at it, right? Georgia's deeper at wide receiver than they've ever been. They're deeper at tight end than they seem to be every year, right? Running back room got added bodies too. They were able to throw a lot more bodies at problems because he's on a cheap deal, and the situation, I'm not saying he's more talented than some of these guys on this list, but the situation around him is far more conducive to success.
I think you could also make the argument that of all the names on this list, Georgia allocated more assets to adding to this offense more than any other team did, at least this window, like this offseason. I mean, it's very apparent that Georgia was adding weapons. They added a running back. They added multiple wide receivers. I mean, they did everything they could to make sure that this was as stable of an offense that they could provide Gunnar Stockton in year 1.
By the way, spoiler alert, but all four of these guys that were ranked in the top 4, they all have top 4, top 5 rosters around them. They're all surrounded with immense talent. We're splitting hairs at this point.
That's what makes the situation so good to be in. Is like the old adage that it doesn't matter who the quarterback is. You could have walked out of Janitor and they would have won X games. as non-true as that is, having a talented team around you certainly helps when you're making your first year of starting.
Now, we were really splitting hairs 1 and 2 here. I put Julian Sand number 2. He's got Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate, Brandon Ennis. If he had Chip Kelly back, it'd be the best situation in college football. The idea that we're breaking in a new coordinator alongside ourselves. And, oh, by the way, I just got here, 12 months ago?
Right.
18 months ago? Whereas some of these guys on this list have been in the same system, being coached by the same head coach with the same offensive coordinator and the same play caller for 3 years now. So it's a little bit more, rapport with the guys around you.
And another thing, like similar to the Notre Dame situation, you're following up a national championship team with a quarterback that, again, exceeded expectations last year.
We know money says Julian Sand should play, but Ryan Day has not come out and said that this is the guy yet.
Right.
It's still Luke Keinholz fighting for that job. Now, again, Ohio State fans, you let me know. Let me know if I'm wrong. I think Julian Sand is going to be the guy against Texas. We're just doing a little gamesmanship here thing with Texas's defensive coordinator, trying to make sure he ain't preparing for the one guy.
Plus, I think what we learned 2 years ago from Ohio State, I know, again, like different coordinator and all of that stuff, but Kyle McCord was a quarterback, and they ran a somewhat bland offense because of it. But you had Marvin Harrison, you had great weapons around it, and they found a way to make it work. It didn't lead to a national title or anything like that, but you've learned that their weapons can overcome a lot of shortcomings at quarterback.
Would have been a playoff team in the
yeah, exactly.
Sure.
Like they met the standard in nowadays football. Number 1, Arch Manning, been there 3 years, going on 3 years now. Kyle Flood been there, Sark's been there. The system is the system. Got to play in meaningful time last year. It's a very easy system, or a very easy setup right now for Arch to have success, you would imagine.
Yeah, the only thing that I think kind of is a negative for him is that the entire world has eyes on you.
Pressure.
Like the pressure of it, it's the most pressured situation for a first-year starter as well. But he's a Manning, and the world kind of wants to see him succeed. So absolutely, it's one of the more advantageous situations, the most advantageous situation.
Speaking of Arch, by the way, we got a super chub I want to talk about here in a second, but I want to transition right quick into this Arch story. Did you see that our official report on Arch Manning was officially reported today by Archie Manning? For those of you who don't know, how long have we been telling you that Arch is coming, like not going into this draft? I feel like
I would say basically the entire offseason.
All offseason. I think I might have even said it last fall. It's very clear. It was very obvious to me that no quarterback family that knows as much about the quarterback position like this would ever let their young man play 12 games and then go to the league. Like, it's just not. It is not historically proven, or it's not historically connected to great success. These one-year starters, even if, and I saw it proposed today, if Arch Manning wins the Heisman this year and goes Joe Burrow style, I still think he's coming back to college next year for a multitude of reasons. First and foremost, he's probably going to make north of $10 million next year as a college football player. Also, the 26 start thing is a real thing. Even Eli went all 3 years, I think, did he go 4 years of eligibility at Ole Miss? Did he play all 4 years?
I think that there was a stat that all of them used all of their eligibility.
I think they all maxed out their eligibility.
There's a suspension somewhere in there as well, though. I don't remember. I'm not even trying to
I do think there were multiple drinking incidents with Eli.
Yeah, there were that.
Yeah.
But I didn't remember if he played all 4 seasons or if it was I do think he used all of his eligibility.
Yeah. But no, I was chat's talking about Burrow. I was using Burrow, the season Burrow had, as an example. I'm saying if he had that season this year, I still am of the firm belief that he's coming back in 2026. And Archie did it today. It's a non-news story on this channel, in our opinion, because it was just football common sense. That's the way we applied it. So that's the way we've been talking to you about it. I think the more cultivating topic is actually what kind of pressure this puts on Sark. You got 2 years of Arch Manning. You got 2 years of the whole world thinking that you should go win a national title, in my opinion.
Does it put